Hello, I'm Rachel Angell. I'm Chief Operating Officer at Domus Stay. Domus Stay opens the doors to the best houses in London on a short stay basis. And as well as these beautiful, architecturally interesting, really design-led homes, we offer complete guest services to our guests. That means that you have a dedicated point of contact from the moment that you contact us and that you're looking to make a booking with us, all the way through to arriving and through your stay as well. Well, the original plan was to launch this time last year, and then, of course, this time last year happened. We're a joint venture between Domus Nova, as you say, which is the independent property experts based in Westbourne Grove, and the Habacus Group, which is based in Chiswick. Both companies have been in business for 20 years and really have their customers and their clients at the heart of everything they do. So I think what's lovely about Domus Stay is that it's really evolved from companies which are really embedded in their own communities and within their own client relationships. In fact, the idea came from or was kind of in mind for some time within the Domus Nova team, and grew from really their clients asking them, their existing clients, asking them for shorter stays in their properties. So whether that be, 3 weeks or 3 months, they already had this demand, and so actually it seemed like a natural progression. Yeah, it's a fair question. I think luxury is a very overused term, and I also think that it's become highly commoditized. My background is in hotels, and everywhere is a luxury hotel these days. The thing is that actually our clients are highly affluent, globally connected, very sophisticated individuals, and they move in very kind of culturally aware circles. They're also really busy, so they're used to the best of everything. So actually the product at that stage becomes kind of table stakes, like it's almost not the most important thing. And at that stage then, this is where recognition and respect really comes to the fore. And for me, luxury or ultra luxury is about relationships and loyalty, and I think true luxury comes from really understanding your guest or your homeowner, indeed, and then understanding what it is that they're really looking for, and then really tailoring your service to them. Well, I think that's the point, that actually at this level and in this sphere, it's always been there. So, and I also think that the important thing about Domus Stay is that for us, we understand that our clients are, of course, our guests, but they are also our homeowners. And actually, kind of from a demographic perspective, they're probably, the same or very similar in terms of the actual person, what he or she looks like. But I think this need for being able to slot into a world where your life, which is incredibly busy and incredibly kind of high powered is the wrong word, but you know, you need to be able to know that you can get somewhere, settle, and carry on with what's most important to you. So for our homeowners, we really offer them the peace of mind that we know property, we understand how to look after these fantastic spaces, we know how to maintain them, we know how to take care of them, And for our guests, they don't need to worry about the fact that, you know, everything is completely compliant and we've got the best linens and beautiful toilet, you know, all of that stuff. They're not even thinking about, because they assume that that's in place. And so, again, they can get on with being them in these beautiful environments. They do delight in the detail. They do appreciate art and music and beautiful spaces. And that's what we help them to enjoy when they stay with us. So, I mean, first of all, again, our property expertise comes to the fore here. So, the level of compliance that we take our homes through goes above and beyond the required kind of regulation in this area. The basics, like, of course, fire risk assessments, gas, electricity, making sure that the home is a comfortable, well-maintained, safe place to be is the first step. Certainly, from a COVID perspective, our housekeepers follow rigorous protocols which are in line with certainly government regulation, World Health Organization advice, and so on. We are practicing social distancing at all times. So we will meet you on arrival, but we will offer our guests actually beautiful bespoke masks. So we're working with Caroline Angell, who's a tailor on Savile Row, and she's made us the most beautiful Savile Row masks. And so we provide those. Of course, you know, we're working with Bamford for our toiletries. They've got beautiful hand sanitizer and so on. So all of the basics are there, but we're also going above and beyond. Clearly, you know, the fact that it's a private space means that the guests can have peace of mind, you know, straight from the off, that they're being welcomed into a place which is effectively their home, and they can really relax in that knowledge. Well, to answer the first or the last bit first, I should say. So we are London is always going to be our home patch, and certainly at the moment, as we are growing, you know, we're really specialising in the West London area in particular. That said, we are expanding quite quickly through. We've got properties in Soho. We're looking at properties in Mayfair, Fitzrovia, even in Hackney, and so on. So very much kind of the immediate focus is to really establish a really great base in the city. Domus Nova have a very successful business in Ibiza, so that would be the kind of natural next step. Funnily enough, we're looking at properties kind of outside of London actually just this week. So certainly, you know, the first thing is to start, which has been a journey. But the first thing is to start, and then, you know, we'll see where the journey takes us. I think as far as the town versus country is concerned, I think it's London that's going to make the difference. London is a world city, and it's not like anywhere else. And I think what's interesting is, you know, at the start we all thought, oh well, you know, we're never going to come into London ever again, and no one's going to come into the office, and, you know, we're all going to retreat to the country. As someone that grew up in the middle of nowhere, actually what's interesting is that there's this need for social connection. And I was in Soho meeting a client last week, and actually you just looked around, and yes, it's quiet, or quieter than normal, but there's this energy that you just don't get anywhere else. And, you know, this year you only have to look at what's happening on the scene, some of the exhibitions that are opening, the fantastic plays that are about to open in town, you know, restaurants that are opening all the time, by really big, you know, exciting and important names in the industry. London is where it's at, and I feel confident that there will always be there'll always be a desire and a need and a real kind of affection or passion for the city.